What up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today the question is a truck fun to drive? Super basic, but you might never have driven a truck, or you might have a truck but it's not fun to drive. You're like, what's the holdup? Currently in my best friend Ben Jackson's 2015 GMC Sierra SLT, I believe. Gray seats, dark wood, dark dash. I like the interior, it's really nice. The GMCs are exactly the same as the Silverados of this year, but just the color schemes in the wood are a little bit different. Nothing crazy. Four-wheel drive. The exhaust setup, second, third cat delete, and the mufflers were cut out and replaced with a single Black Widow Race Venom muffler, which you can order the muffler from Black Widow. It sounds really, really good. It's loud if you want it to be, but also pretty quiet if you want it to be. The cold starts are very loud when you do a remote start. Remote start in the morning, you can be inside your room, lock, hit the button, you hear it super duper loud, so that's fun what's about it. But when it's idling at normal temp, it's really, really quiet. You'd never know it's there. Also, 2-inch leveling kit in the front and by Rough Country, and then a lowering shackle in the back, 1 or 2 inches, I'm not sure. It's just a little bit Cali lean higher in the front, which I'm a huge fan of personally. A lot of people hate it, a lot of people love it. I love it. I will always have my trucks higher in the front. But with the hood being so big on these models of trucks, it's really fun. So if you have a big hood, you know, or it's a big Ford or a big Chevy, you know, it's something that when you drive a car all the time and you switch to a truck, you're like, whoa, this is fun. You know, you think you're gonna hit a bunch of things, but you have way more space than you think you do. Let you guys listen to it a little bit. The transmission on these 2014 plus, this is 2015, but the 2014 plus Chevy and GMCs 1500s, the transmission is my favorite part, hands down. It shifts so smooth, it rev matches like so good. I'll throw it in manual. So smooth for a truck, and how big and heavy it is. It doesn't clunk ever. It just shifts right when you need it to. Even when you're in full automatic mode and you're like rolling at about a 20, you go to hit the throttle, it's not sitting in a low gear, it's just ready to go and peppy. So that's what's fun. But overall, general trucks though, see, I also own on the side a Mazda B2200, which is a single cab, tiny little truck. I slammed it to the ground. I need to cut the bed. It's just a super rough little truck. Is it fun to drive? Yes, it's manual. Is it fun to drive for like a month straight as a daily driver? That low? Absolutely not. If it's stock, it's super boring. So not every truck's fun. This truck in particular is fun. I feel like even more fun since I've been in a car so long. So if I were to have a car and this, it would be absolutely perfect to go back and forth, because when I get back in my car, I'm gonna feel like I'm hugging the ground. But when I get up here, I feel like I can relax, drive around town, drive to work, and just sit back and enjoy the view and just kind of, you know, decompress, think. You know, if you got a lot of things going on in your life, you can, you know, think of business ideas or life or figure out problems. You go on your phone or whatever. So when you're in a car, especially driving stick shift, you're just kind of always doing something. So to be in something like this, like a big truck that's high up, it's very relaxing compared to being on the ground and looking next to everyone at the ground and, you know, yada yada yada. But going back to the question again, is a truck fun to drive? Yes, but I feel like it needs a few things, and it depends on what truck you have. You have an old beater truck that just needs bushings and shocks and blah blah blah. It's more rough and it's not fun. But if you can afford a nicer truck like this, it is very fun to drive. Like, I wouldn't say it's as fun to drive as a sports car, but it's fun to drive when you need to go off-road. It becomes that sports car of its off-road scene. So, you know, it's really depending on it. But if you drive cars all the time and if you hop in a truck like this, it is for sure fun. You just need a leveling kit. Don't let it sit bug-eye. If you have a stock Chevy, it's super boring to drive. You got to do somewhat of a, you know, slight exhaust, hear some noise, you know, get the front end up a little bit off the ground. You know, then you can really enjoy a truck for what it's worth. Then it becomes fun to drive. But if you leave anything stock, to me, it's not near as fun as it can be. Yeah, a lot of vehicles are fun stock, but there's always better with just a few slight modifications that don't even cost that much. I'm pretty sure the leveling kit for this in the front was like 150 bucks. That is nothing. Lowering shackles in the back, 100 bucks. If you pay to install it, it'd probably be another 150 in labor. Really, honestly, when you compare it to everything else, it's really not that bad for how much drastically it changes, how much it, you know, feels driving it and looks. So when you're driving a truck like this, I feel like it's fun also because when you roll up to a stop sign, a four-way stop sign, you kind of like roll up and everyone's like, oh, what's that guy gonna do? He's got the biggest vehicle here. Meanwhile, in a car, if you're in like a fast car, you roll up, they're like, oh, are they just gonna zip in front of me? So you go from, you know, peeling out in front of someone because you're faster than them to rolling up, and they're like, whoa, yeah, that guy's way bigger than the rest of us. What's he gonna do? So it's just kind of like small mental games like that. It's just kind of funny, very minor, nothing a big deal. But also, I think why I like this truck so much is it's got like a really good power steering setup. I think it's electric. I'm not 100% positive. You guys can reinforce me in the comments, but I think it is electric on 2014 plus Chevys and GMCs 1500 at least. And even with big tires like this, I think these are 33s. They're, you know, it turns like I can do it with one finger. It's awesome. So that makes it really pleasant to drive a big truck like this, because sometimes when they're so big and the power steering sucks, it's just like you're sitting there, you know, going like this. So let's go back to the question again. Is a truck fun to drive? So much fun that I would buy one. Would I buy an expensive truck for 15 grand? Probably not. I'd probably wait till I had 25, 30 to buy something like this, because I feel like they're so solid and well built. That's me personally. You know, you might like Ford, you might like Chevy. You know, honestly, on the other end of the spectrum, I would buy a Cat Eye extended cab Silverado with the, you know, 04 or whatever, maybe pre-runner it, buy it for 8 or less, and then put like, you know, 20 grand into it and have like an insane pre-runner you can hit whoops going 60 plus miles an hour. So give or take, I would really like to wait and get one of these things and have a car on the side also, but that's not the season of life I'm in, so I'm driving a single cab Mazda B2200. So we'll probably turn that into a drift truck or something crazy, but until then I'll really be looking at these still. I'm really enjoying these. Not to mention, chicks love trucks. Hands down. Hands down. Truck over car every single day. A girl would rather go hop in a truck. So keep that in mind. If you're, you know, thinking about buying a truck or a car, you're doing it for the chicks, you're gonna play yourself buying a car, because you're probably only gonna attract dudes just like we all do in our STIs, GTRs, Focus, STs, RSs, all that. We attract dudes, don't even lie. You know, maybe there's a rare time, but you really have to like get to know the chick and convince her and show her how fun it is. But if you just want to swoop the chick up easy, then I would buy one of these for sure. That concludes today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the views lately. The channel's growing immensely. And yeah, I think that's it. Later. Oh, shout out, Ben. Thanks for letting me use your truck. I'll see you when you get back.